Hi friends, I am Dr. Pratap Singh Rathod. I have done MD in Forensic Medicine. Today we'll discuss about peculiar firearm wounds. Other than the typical firearm wounds, wounds caused by the rifle and shotgun weapons, some of the some of the peculiarities are seen in different types of wounds. One is atypical entrance wounds. So there are different types of entrance wounds where they are atypical other than the typical entrance wounds. One is caused by tail wobble or tail wag. It is occurs when within few microseconds after the bullet leaves the muscles and may cause great damage since the tail end of the bullet wobbles and enters the body. It may cause greater damage compared to normal entrance wounds. Next is yawing of bullet. So yawing of bullet is where the bullet doesn't enter normally, but it yaws in a peculiar direction. It occurs because of deviation between the long axis of the bullet and the axis of the path of the bullet is deviated. Then it's just tumbling bullet. So similar to yawing bullet occurs as a up and down motion, but tumbling is where the bullet tumbles in itself, where bullet rotates end to end during its path and enters into body as a longitudinal. In all these wobbles, yaw or tumble, the impact of bullet may be sideways or even backwards with the irregular lateral motions, due to which there is irregular lacerative wound is produced. So because of that, any wound which caused by the wobbles, yaw or tumbler, it doesn't cause a circular wound, it may cause a longitudinal or lacerated wound will be caused. Next, atypical wound is caused by use of silencers. So we know that all the entrance wound there is tattooing, there is blackening all present, but in typical entrance wound. But in this, because of use of silencer or any other materials, the tattooing, blackening are not seen because of use of this because it holds the smoke. In case of weapon defects such as cylinder misalignment, it may cause deformity in the missiles, which may also break off, and this metaphagris may enter the body. So, because of defect in the weapons or misalignment in the barrel, the part of the missile may break off and enter the body. Next, atypical wound is ricochet bullet. So, ricochet bullet is one which, before striking the object aimed at, that is the skin, it strikes some other intervening object first, then enter after ricocheting or rebounding from this hits the object. So, if for example, if the person is hit in one direction, so in intervening there is a wall, it may hit the wall and at the angle, it may hit at the angle and it enter the other object. So this all depends on the how the bullet is fired in the angle. So if one, for example, if there is a one person standing here, bystander, and the one firearm is fired in this direction, and there is a wall, it may hit this wall and it may hit the target because of reflecting because of it ricochets and rebounds. Typically, the critical angle of impact of ricochet for hard surfaces is usually between 10 to 30 degrees. The bullet may become deformed or flattened before the striking the skin. Usually, ricochet bullet produces larger, irregularly oval, triangular, or cruciate entrance wound because it doesn't enter with the nose end. It may enter by the or it may not enter as a nose end. It may enter by base or longitudinally. In this case, burning, blackening, abrasion, colors, tattooing are not seen. Particles of the substance against which the bullet is deflected or has stuck may form adherent to the bullet. Like, for example, if it is hits the tiles, the part of the tile particles may be adhered to the bullet. One more variation in ricochet is internal ricochet. This occurs in case of a skull. It may rebound or ricochet from the inner table of the skull like a billiard ball, producing a second impact. So, for example, in this case, so bullet enters here and it may strike one part of the end of the skull inner table, and it may ricochet and it may come off from the other end. And sometimes, if it may also ricochet second time or third time, and it may create second track or third track. So it may ricochet inside the skull because of it may be the velocity of the bullet may be less. Because of that, it may ricochet and it may cause one, two, or three wound tracks. Sometimes bullet enters the skull at an acute angle towards the inner table. It may move along the dura, tearing the leptomeninges and blood vessels and produces shallow wound track along the surface of the brain. So if it is enters only at only the acute angle. So it may travel along the dura and it may come and it may rupture the leptomeninges and the blood vessels and come out from the brain. Some other atypical wounds, bullet may strike the surface producing contusions and fall off the ground. Sometimes the bullet may not enter the body itself, it just may produce a contusions. This is relatively seen in soft non-jacketed bullet fired from a firearm that has eroded a bone marrow. So it may be seen in defective barrels. In case of soft non-jacketed bullets, it may not penetrate the body, it may just create a contusions. Similar to that only, bullet may also cause gray abrasions called as bullet graze of slab. In this, bullet strikes the skin at so acute angle that it produces an elongated area of abrasion. So it doesn't enter the body. It may just produce a elongated area of abrasion without any actual perforating or tearing of the skin. So those are the atypical entrance wounds. So other peculiar firearms wounds includes one is single entrance wound, multiple exits. So this is seen in certain cases where bullet splits up within the body and divides itself into 3 or 4 pieces. There will be only one enter hole but several exits. So bullet entering the body, it may strike some bone, or it may because of defect in the bullet, it may be broken into different pieces, and it may each piece may cause different strike and different entrance track and exit from the body. The bullet striking a bone may break the bone into fragments, and that bone fragments may also exit the body, producing multiple exit wounds. Next is bullet striking the skull but not entering it. So this is seen very rarely, where bullet may just graze or rub the top and side of the cranium without entering it. In such cases, entry and exit wounds are found only on the scalp about 2 or 3 centimeters. But below the scalp, the skull between the two wounds show an oval or elongated gutter-like depression, which is called a gutter wound or keyhole defect will be seen. So in this, the bullet may just graze or just depress the outer table and uh, exit the head by causing the skull entry and scalp entry and exit wounds. Next, peculiar feature of firearms includes multiple wounds of entrance and exits from a single shot. So based on the person's position, for example, in this case, if the person is sitting position, the bullet may enter in the chest area, enter the arms, and exit from the arm, enter the leg, enter the thighs, exit from the thigh, enter the leg, exit from the leg, and then enter the foot. So it will cause multiple entrance wounds like A, B, C, D, and multiple exit wounds like 1, 2, and 3 and 4. So because of the based on the position of the person, it may cause multiple entrance and exit wounds by single shot. Entrance wound is present but bullet is absent, is not from the body. So this is seen in many times in low velocity bullets. So low velocity bullets who doesn't have enough velocity to completely enter the body, these bullets may not bullet may just enter the body cavities. So if the bullet cavities enters the stomach, and some person because of regurgitation, he may vomit the bullet. It may enter the windpipe and it may be coughed up by the person. It may enter the mouth and it may be spit out. It may be enter the gastrointestinal tract and it may be passed out in the feces. And sometimes when it is so deviated or turned on coming in contact with the bone, that it may pass out from the same wound. So it may just rebound from the same entrance and it may come out from the exit from the same wound. So in these cases, bullet may not found in the body. It may just be outside from the body. Unexplained bullets may be seen in body. Occasionally, more bullets are found in the entrance wound. So there is one single wound is present, but occasionally multiple bullets are found. So when a defective unused weapon is fired, the bullet may fail to come out from the muscles. When this defective weapon is fired again, the second bullet may go off carrying the large bullet with it, and both the bullets may enter the body through which the same enters wound. This is called as tandem bullet or piggyback bullet. So this is seen in many times in defective barrel, where when the person fires, the bullet may get lodged in the barrel, and when one more times he fires the same gun, the second bullet may carry the both bullet and come out from the muzzle end and enter the body. In the body, this both bullet may get separated because of intermediate tissue and two bullets may be found. So this causes unexpected bullet with a single entrance wound. Italics is from blank cartridges. Blank cartridges is a one which contains primer, gunpowder, and wadding, but without any bullets or pellets. So these are cartridges used for target practice, but they contains only the primer and gunpowder with some wadding or some uh, cardboard or some materials placed in on the front. So wound can be caused from this, because of gases and from closing part in the end of the cartridge. Mainly the wadding which is placed in the cartridge may cause injuries. So wadding on gunpowder may cause lacerations and may also produce death from shock and pressure on the nerves because of certain incidents. It may also cause pressure gases and may cause death. Firearms going off by itself. So when certain times the person may not trigger also, but sometimes it may firearm may go off. So itself without anyone touching the trigger due to some defect in the mechanisms. It mainly seen in country-made guns and old worn guns which may discharge without pushing the trigger. It may be just because it may be pushed or thrown or butt being dropped against the ground. The trigger may trigger itself and firearm may be fired, and that firearm may hit any living person. Person may die because of that. Next is frangible bullets. So these are designed to fragment upon impact upon the point of disintegration. So this is the bullets which on impact gets disintegrated and fragmented. If the bone is penetrated, they also are becomes usually recovered in eroded state. So if they get lodged in the bone, it usually they form found as a eroded state. Duplex or tandem cartridges. So these are used in military rifles and contains two bullets. So usually one cartridge consists of one bullet, but these are the few cartridges which consist two bullets, which enters the target at different points separated by as much as 30 centimeters. So because they contain two bullets, they are made to with a single fire. They releases two bullets which may enter the body about 30 centimeter apart. They may enter the body. Certain artifacts caused by firearms. Certain artifacts which is seen in firearm wounds. One is caused by surgical alteration of the entrance wound. Surgical alteration or switching of gunshot wounds create problems in identifying range and direction of firearms. So, person who is shot may be taken to emergency centers at the time. If the surgeons alter the wound by surgical alter the wound without any noting down the features of the entrance wound, it will be difficult for investigating officer to know whether the what was the range of the weapon or which direction the firearm was fired. This is typically was seen in assassination of President Kennedy, in which the entrance wound was sutured and evaluation of the wound becomes difficult. One more phenomenon is Rayalaseema phenomenon, in which the victim was first killed by a stab wound and then the bullet was stuffed in the wound manually to make it look like a firearm injury. So that the person, investigating officer, was searching for firearm wound instead of a stab or knife wound. Next is bullet embolism. So bullet may after fired, it may enter artery and get embolized into femoral popliteal arteries and may cause death because of embolisms. Less frequently, venous embolism may occur because of it may enter the veins of lower limbs and heart. Next is concealed firearm wounds. Concealed firearm wounds are the wounds which may not be identified at the time of investigations. It may be seen when the body is covered with blood. The blood clot may obscure the injury, or if the wound is present in the mouth, nostril, ear, eye, or any part of body orifices like rectum or vagina, it may not be detected by the mortician and it may be neglected and it may lead to misleading the information. These are my references. Thank you.